Hello and welcome to the Education Forum Show where we explore trends and developments within the education sector. My name is Nachiranda Jamil. Well, today we're here at Mount St. Mary's College, Namagunga, to explore their science fair. But first, before we go for the science exhibition, I think we should first go for the humanities. I hope you enjoy the show. Well, we've come across so many projects here at Mount St. Mary's, Namagunga, but apparently we found something unique, which is an African traditional project. And I'm going to ask a few questions. I'm going to interact with my girl here. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
You're fine? What's your name?
My name is Makoha Vivian Elisha.
What is your class?
I'm in Form 4.
Form 4. Yes. So, which is Senior 4, right?
Yes.
So why specifically this project?
So we looked at this project because it highlights the transition between African traditional religion and the religions that came up after the coming of the Arabs and the missionaries.
Oh, so you had to find out why.
Why did they choose to change from this to that, and how it took place and what caused it, and the aspects, the elements that contributed to that, to the transition.
Okay. So what pushed you mostly to do this project? What made you like to do it?
So we did this project mainly out of curiosity, and also because of the new curriculum we're called upon to do projects. So we decided to look at the religions around the world.
My name is Naikesa Rebecca Evelyn. We are in Senior 4 at Mount St. Mary's College, Namagunga, and today we are here to present a CRE project. CRE in full is Christian Religious Education. And this is my team. This is Millicent as a student leader, Tracy as a doctor. I am working as a chef. She is dressed up as an engineer, and she's dressed up as a teacher. Today, this project is about work ethics, and as we all know, work ethics refer to the acceptable values one is supposed to exhibit while they're at their place of work. We have different work ethics for every profession. And since this is CRE, it all goes back to the Bible. And we all know that God worked. That is why we are here. And also when Jesus was growing up, his father was a carpenter, and so he used to help him. And in his work, Jesus had different work ethics. He was patient with the people. He was a loyal person. And also in these work ethics, we ought to imitate Jesus. So today we have the teacher here who is Hannah, and in the teaching profession you're supposed to have work ethics like patience, integrity. You're supposed to be smart. You're supposed to be a critical thinker as a teacher, and it all starts from teaching. This is why children join school at 3 years, and then they get out of school when they're like 60 with PhDs. So as a teacher, you have to be smart in such a way that you're always an example to your students, so that as they are growing up, when they go into different jobs like engineering, doctor, lawyer, they can still be able to imitate because of what the teacher was doing back then. They'll remember that my teacher was smart, so I ought to be smart. Now, for me as a chef, everything revolves around food. So you have to, as a chef, you have to have work ethics like punctuality, cleanliness. You have to be trustworthy. Because if you're working somewhere like in a law firm, and maybe you're the chef there, and you're not punctual, at times it can end up leading to deterioration of the project of the lawyers. Like if they're supposed to defend someone in court, they will be late because you brought in the food late, and the hearing will start later, and they could have maybe had ulcers, so they are not able to conduct it, and someone out there will not be defended, and this will lead to unsustainable development in the country. And since we are looking at sustainable development in the country, as a doctor, you need to be able to work well with your clients. For example, an engineer, if you're operating on them, you need to work well on them so that they can be able to construct the roads where the teachers will pass in order to go to school. Yes, and then we need to remember that God is the author of our lives, and we should always always remember him in everything we do. So the work ethic bounding all of us here is prayer. So in everything you do and in everything you're about to do, like your work, you need to pray before and after so that you can bring God to the center of it. And educating people about this work ethics can help the students to be able to choose a work range in which they can exercise their talents. Now, for an impatient person, you can't be able to be a doctor because you will not be patient with the people you're working on. You always be feeling like they are a bother to you. Thank you.
Well, today people are really caught up between traditional and modernity, which is ethical, but some people are trying to balance the both. But apparently this project is very interesting because sometimes people fail to decide where they fall, even though they want to balance the both. But we are here to know more why and how people are trying to go through this kind of system. Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
Hi.
What is your name, your class?
My name is Message Elizabeth, Form 3.
Home 3. So why did you specifically choose this? I mean, we've been through a lot of projects around, but you decided to go with traditional versus modernity. Why did you go for this project?
Well, before we go on, we serve our visitors.
Okay.
Coffee beans.
Okay. Thank you.
So, I chose traditional versus modernity.
Yeah.
Because we realize that in our modern life right now, there are some values we need that we do not have right now. So in the traditional part, there is hard work, there is sharing, unity, security, participation, and all that. And when you look at the modern life, like right now, there is every part beside the city, there is a slum. And that combination creates independence, and there is a way you're segregating the people for the slum. And yet what we are working for is economic development and sustainable growth, of which to bring that, we need the unity. We need to be united. And realize that the traditional setting, as we had set it there is a time when the people come together to drink malwa. So they come together in the form of a fireplace. And they sit, they talk about their problems, they share their skills, and through that we are passing on information to the next generation, because there are also young children involved there. So through that we are creating development, and we can bring that into the modern life, because we are not trying to eliminate modernity, because it's inevitable. We just want to balance it and create that complexion so that it's good. There are morals, because with morals there are also some things that we are preventing, like corruption. Because if you have morals, you can't be corrupt, and that's taught in the traditional part. So through those values, we are creating sustainable growth and economic development.
Thank you so much.
Hi, my name is Katshabe Esther Muhumuza. I'm a student at Mount St. Mary's College, Namagunga, Form 3C. Our project for today is called Shots in Africa, and it's in the side of geography. So the whole point of the project today is to promote wildlife awareness in Africa, because there's a stereotype over Africa because of our biological diversities, yet we have so many that people refuse to see, and some of these diversities are dying each and every single day. They are becoming extinct. So in order for us to make this fun for you to be aware, you are provided with a
basketball hoop and a tennis ball.
So when you get the tennis ball, you are given 3 chances to make shots. Now each shot you make is equivalent to a card that you pick, and this card has information on the animals on the map. So when you make 3 shots in a row, you are able to get a piece of candy as your gift, because you put in effort, and 3 cards in which these cards talk about each of these animals. Yes, the animals are dying. Let us protect them. Let's be part of the ecosystem. Thank you.
My name is Tibaga Tracy Davin. I'm in S3C, Mount St. Mary's College, Namagunga. So before you is the Kiswahili project. Our Kiswahili project, it's called the Rebirth of Kiswahili. So as the Kiswahili Club of Mount St. Mary's College Namagunga, we have decided to take up this responsibility to mother Kiswahili, to stimulate it and to try and bring it into people's hearts, because we have a common phase saying Kiswahili was born in Tanzania, it grew up in Kenya and died in Uganda. Meaning, we all know how Kiswahili came about by the intermarriages of the Arabs and the Bantu, yes. And then when it reached Kenya, it got diluted. That's why at some point we say, I grew up in Kenya, me being Kiswahili, and I learned a lot of things with that. But then when Kiswahili reached Uganda, mainly in the heart of Uganda, we completely lost it. So we as the Kiswahili Club have taken this initiative, starting small, starting from our school community. And we have taken this advantage of today being a science fair. Our parents are here, our beloved guests. We are having these bracelets with Kiswahili words on them. You have a bracelet with a Kiswahili word on it, and you'll be pushed to know what that word means, which will help you because you are going to start small. And then we also have these ones you can take home as souvenirs with different meanings on them. Familia inaomba Mungu, paishi inaishi pamoja, meaning a family that prays together stays together. So our project is mainly bringing out Kiswahili because we know Kiswahili is a very important subject. Our future, in our tomorrow, we see Kiswahili as our next thing. Kiswahili brings us to the opportunities we have outside Uganda, majoring in East Africa. We all know the government's initiative to make Kiswahili a language for us, a national language. That will all bring about unity because you see all the East African countries are speaking Kiswahili. We are the only ones who have failed to adapt to this. So with this, we are starting our campaign, our program to take Kiswahili on forward. So she will tell you that in Kiswahili.
Habari za mchana, jina langu ni Mhindo Megan Hilary, niko kwa kidato cha 4 na hii ni chama cha Kiswahili cha Mount St. Mary's College Namagunga. Huu ni kazi mradi wa chama cha Kiswahili na leo tutanunua na kuuza bangili zinazo na maneno ya Kiswahili kama mdogo, nyota, Kristo na kadhalika. Umuhimu wa kusoma Kiswahili ni kama kurahisa biashara katika Afrika Mashariki, na pia Kiswahili ni rahisi kusoma na kuendeleza mawasiliano katika Jumuiya ya Afrika. Asanteni kusikiliza.
I hope you have enjoyed those interesting innovations from the students from the side of the humanities. But right now we are going to go visit the science innovations by the students. So we are going to take a look at ICT and geography specifically. Keep on enjoying the show.
Hi, my name is Emily Sonyanakabuye. I'm from Mount St. Mary's College Namagunga, and we have a project in the ICT sector, and this is my team. Yes, so we came up with a project called workug.com, and it's basically a jobs opportunity web application. Work.ug is solving a problem concerning unemployment in Uganda, more so in the youth. It's basically supposed to enable the youth access jobs easily online. We've heard of applications, for example, LinkedIn, Monday, Uganda, which also do the same thing, but the difference between Work UG Uganda is that LinkedIn is for everybody in the world. It provides services and connections to people with formal jobs. But what we're trying to promote here is economic growth and development under by Uganda, Build Uganda, and therefore workuganda.ug is supposed to be an application whereby anybody in any sector or any field in Uganda, they can be able to access information about different job appointments or different job qualifications or resources in the job sector, and also use the platform to gain entrepreneurial skills to start up businesses by themselves. I'm going to take you through the application. Okay, so we have the part whereby there is supposed to be videos and different tutorials about different career paths and sectors that one can operate in. Then there is a job listing here whereby there are different jobs that are uploaded, and it's supposed to show you the most current jobs that are looking for people. Then here we have a sector for some inspirational quotes for any entrepreneur who visits our site. So here, to enlist a job, for one to put up a job as an employer who's looking for people to work for them, you'll enter your job title, the job description, the location, the job requirements, and then it will literally pull up the submitted jobs from your account. These are some of them. Okay, so that's basically the basic feature of the app. But we are working to make sure that Uganda economically grows and develops, because we believe the first and most important thing that delaying our country from developing is unemployment, high rates of unemployment. And therefore, with this, it's supposed to be able to curb that barrier and enable productivity among the youth. And when we have youth who are able to provide for themselves, they will develop their communities and develop their cities and make them sustainable. And this also meets the SDGs of Uganda. And therefore, we present to you workug.com.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Natugonza Daniela Itagi from Mount St. Mary's College, Namagunga, and I'm here to explain to you or tell you about a project that is entitled Applying the Knowledge of Volcanicity to Design a Volcano. So, as you can see, we used materials that are from the environment. We used clay, we used a piece of wood, we used pipes, we used trees, we used plants, we used wire mesh to make the whole model. So we are going to carry out, first of all, the eruption, and we all know that it's only active volcanoes that erupt. So we are going to use chemicals that, when combined, make what we call an elephant toothpaste. These are potassium iodide, we have hydrogen peroxide, liquid soap, and then some bit of water, then the food color to give the reaction the exact color or of the magma, or a relatively same color as the magma. So when eruption occurs, we all see that plants get burnt, people die. So our project is going to create awareness to people living around mountains. We want to make them aware that anytime they should be prepared. At a point, eruption can occur, especially those places with dormant volcanoes in Uganda. In Uganda, we have a dormant volcano called Mount Mufumbiro, so this part would be suitable for people around Mountain Mufumbiro. We would tell them that there are signs that a volcanic eruption is going to happen. That is, there is emission of gases, there is smoke, there are earthquakes. So when people see that, they can actually go away or relocate or evacuate, as the government is telling them to. Our project is solving the problem of ignorance. You know, the government has tried to educate people around mountains about dangers of staying around them, but they seem to pay a deaf ear. So we are here to, as the proverb say, the saying goes that Africans believe by seeing. We are here to show them so that that doubt can go away and they can actually agree to evacuate from the mountain. 3, we are helping students who do not have access to internet, who have never seen a volcano. For example, people in Hoima district. We want to show them what exactly happens when volcanicity is occurring. So we want to, in simple terms, we can sell our idea to them so that they can use this model to erupt and see what exactly happens, so that when the exams come, they can be able to answer them. Or the teachers can also buy this from us. The builders can get can get money through this. Yes, so that's what our project is mainly about, and we are going to show you the eruption, the safety precautions. Please, when we erupt the chemical, do not touch because it is hot and corrosive, and then keep a distance.
The food coloring is inside the hydrogen peroxide. Now when I add this hydrogen peroxide, since we have already put the potassium iodide, it's going to react. Like that's what is going to happen right now. Yes.
So now the cause of the volcanicity, underneath the ground, radioactivity, pressure, and chemical reactions melt the rocks that are underneath to form the magma that is coming out. So due to the pressure, the magma comes out through the main vent that is formed by faulting. So then the magma is going to be emitted and it's going to flow outside, which is going to cause it to solidify to form the lava. And lava is what we call the solidified magma, which will hence form the volcanic mountain around it. So when the pressure keeps on minimizing, the magma is going to stop flowing upwards and going to stop here in the middle, hence forming the hole up, which is a crater lake. Yes, thanks.
Wow. We have now seen that science is a real key factor in the national development. But stick around because we're still seeing more innovations from these students, like, for example, the electromagnetic crane and generation of electricity from soil. Stick around and enjoy the show.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Namyanja Matina from Senior 3D in Mount St. Mary's College in Namagunga, and this is my team. So our project is called an electromagnetic tower crane. So basically, we came up with this project because the cranes normally used in Uganda are diesel powered, like fuel. And it's not safe, we all know that, because there are oil leakages and it's not safe for our health because the oil can go in the water, causing health problems. And then also the combustion of the fuels. They release toxic chemicals in our environment, like carbon monoxide, methane, and currently we are fighting global warming. So this crane instead uses electricity and magnetism. Our source of electricity currently are the batteries with 6, they have a voltage of 6, yes. So the batteries have wires, and the wires are connected to our motor here. So once we complete the circuit, we connect the wires to the batteries. The electricity moves through the wires to the motor, later making it move. And it's connected to the pulley system, as you can see. This is the pulley system. So it can move clockwise and anti-clockwise because of the alternating current. So when we connect it, please help. As you can see, it's moving clockwise and picks up our magnetic material. And then later on, we change the current, alternating current, such that we lift it. So we also came up with a resolution. Since there are some materials that are non-magnetic and we want to move them, we can put them in magnetic, like metallic containers. So we put in our non-magnetic materials in those containers, and we use this magnet to lift them and transport them to our areas. So basically, modified, it shall have a motor here. And this motor is basically a pivot to move to other areas to collect the materials. Yes. And it's safer.
Hello, everyone. My name is Karen Balikudembe. I'm in Senior 4B, and I'm a member of Mount St. Mary's College, Namagunga. So here today, we have a project to show you how we can extract energy from soil. So as we all know, in soil, there are living organisms, and here we are basing off the microorganisms, which is bacteria. We are generating electricity from bacteria. The specific kind of bacteria that we are using is Geobacter and Schwannella. These bacteria, there is organic matter in the soil, right? So when the bacteria break down the organic matter, they metabolize. Now, as a result of their metabolism, a byproduct is produced, and these byproducts are electrons. So we created a microbiofuel cell to use these electrons to create electricity. As we all know, a cell has a positive terminal and a negative terminal. Here, our positive terminal, we used a carbon rod. Yes, and for the negative terminal, don't touch them. A negative terminal, we used a metallic nail, an iron nail. So we know electrons are in the soil and they move freely. So once we introduce a positive terminal, they'll be attracted to it since they flow to a point of opposite charge. So the electrons will move from the soil to the positive terminal. And then from the carbon rod, which is the positive terminal, they'll be conducted to the metallic nail, which is our negative terminal, through the medium in which they are, which is the soil. Now from this terminal, it will move to another terminal because in this beaker, the same mechanism that happens here is basically what happens here and here and here. Exactly. So we create a path for those electrons to flow by installing copper wires. Yes. So the electrons flow from one terminal to another, and it is that continuous flow of electrons that creates current, which we are using as electricity, because electricity is basically the flow of current. Yes, electrons. So here we have a voltmeter. We are using it to know the amount of voltage that we are producing. This setup here, this cell, is equivalent to like one cell only. So that's why we are not generating a high amount of voltage, because it's just a prototype, it's just a setup to kind of inform the world that we can generate electricity from soil. Yes. So the highest amount of voltage we've reached, since it's a small setup, is very little voltage being produced. So the highest amount is 0.5 volts. Yes. So if you were to do this on a larger scale and using like many soil samples, you would be able to generate enough voltage, enough electricity to light a bulb, to light a house, and use it for very many different things. This is efficient in a way that soil is very abundant. This is basically normal soil. This is loam soil. We collected it from a shrub outside there. That means it's very accessible, it's very affordable. You don't have to get soil from a specific place. So we use this soil from out there, and it does not affect the environment in any way. Because if we were using a product of the bacteria, of the metabolism of the bacteria, would be affecting them. But no, we are using a byproduct, meaning we are using something that they do not need. So we are not affecting the bacteria, we are not affecting the soil in any way. So this is like an open window to generation of electricity from sustainable places. This is clean and safe energy because it does not affect the environment in any way. Yes.
As we know, agriculture is the backbone of Uganda's economy. No wonder students have developed technologies in order to boost this sector. Let's find out.
Hello everyone, my name is Akampa Shanice, and today we are looking at the project called the moisture detector and then also the water sprinkler. So we are applying the knowledge of Newton's laws of motion and resistance on how these two experiments are going to work today. So in these samples, we have two samples here. We have a sample of 100 milliliters of soil for each sample, but 2 of water and then 75 of water in this sample. So in this sample here, basically, resistance in soil depends on the moisture content, yes? And the moisture content in this is pretty low. And then this, we have a lot of moisture content. So when the moisture content is really low, we expect the resistance to be really high. And when the moisture content is really high, we expect the resistance to be really low. So when we are to insert the moisture detectors in the soil samples, this that has a high resistance. Okay, this circuit here depends on the principle of resistance. The principle of resistance in that it has a chip which has an internal transformer that transforms low current to high current and high current to low current. So we have this sample that has a high resistance that produces a low current because current is inversely proportional to resistance. So it's going to produce a low resistance, a low current, but the low current is going to be transformed to a high current because of the step-down transformer that is within the chip. So it's going to be converted and it's going to light to detect that there is actually no moisture within this sample. Then for this sample here, when we insert the detectors into this sample that has a lot of moisture, it has a low resistance, so it's going to produce a high current, and the high current is going to be stepped down to a low current. So when we detect it, there is supposed to be no LED lighting. Why? Because we have stepped it down to low current, so that generally the farmer is going to detect that there is actually enough moisture or a lot of moisture within the soil, so therefore there is no need for the irrigation system to work. So this is where you bring in an irrigation system that is supposed to be connected to this, supposed to be an automatic connection, in that it's supposed to be activated once the moisture content is low, and then deactivated once the moisture content is enough or very high. Then the sprinklers, we used an eco-friendly system in that we used locally made materials. We used plastics to design the model, and it actually covers an area of 5 meters. That's around approximately 5 to 6 crops. So this is the model that we have, but with, of course, improvement, we expect it to cover a wider area, and this would generally minimize water wastage and also do an effective irrigation, especially in areas like northeastern Uganda that experience they have water scarcity, but then the irrigation systems are not favorable because they work for a specific period of time, either 6 to 12 hours, where there's a lot of water wastage. So this system is supposed to be able to minimize water wastage because it will only provide what the soil needs. And that's generally what the project is about.
My name is Namwase Joy Chirabo. I am in Form 6. I offer PCM IT. And I'm in Mount St. Mary's College, Namagunga. Over here we have our project. It's called an electric bell. This electric bell is supposed to solve a problem in our school community in that it's automatic. So this electric bell, it's supposed to help to save the time that is going to be taken by a student to walk all the way to the switch and flip the switch so that the bell can go off. So on this electric bell, we have our timer and our siren. So for the timer, we have to set the timer to a specific time so that it can go off after some time, and it can be also set to ring for a given amount of time. So when that given amount of time elapses, the siren will stop ringing. So its relevance, it's relevant in the school community, our school community. It would really help a lot to save that girl the time she's going to take off to walk all the way to the other side to ring the bell, in that she'll miss out something in the lessons, or maybe sometimes it's hectic to ring it every 40 minutes. So one of my partners here is going to demonstrate how the timer works for 1 minute. So our source of current is AC. So we connect our wire to an AC source. The AC source is going to transfer current to our timer. And our timer, when the time has been reached, it's going to transfer the current to the bell. And the bell will ring for the time that it has been set. Are you done? Just press the clock, yes. Yes, we are going to demonstrate it for you right now. Sasha, just press the clock bell. Clock. It's fine. You set it, huh? For how many minutes? Just leave it. You set it to what time? Yes, it's going to ring in about 1 minute. Yes. So our project can also be improved in such a way that we can connect it to an Arduino board. An Arduino board is an ICT board where we can write a code, and that code can help us to automatically set off the alarm instead of using the timer. We can even substitute it for a stopwatch. So that makes it even more cheaper and more economically friendly. These were easy to get. So as you have seen, our timer went off after a given set period of time, and it was supposed to ring for 1 minute. Yes, that's our project.
I'm delighted to be joined by the deputy head teacher of this lovely school, who is going to tell us more about why everything had to happen with this fair and what's happening. And maybe she'll tell us, we'll find more. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good.
I see you. I'm okay.
Yes.
Yeah, a very beautiful environment.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So I noticed that there are so many, we've gone through so many programs through the day and all that, but you had a certain theme that you followed in order to have this science fair today. So tell us more. Why did you choose that particular theme?
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
So as you already know, I am the deputy head teacher of this great school.
Yeah.
I am in charge of academics and discipline. I'm called Rachel Chironde.
Okay.
Now this theme that we chose for this particular year, probably I would like to first say that it has been our tradition to have it all science. Every year we have a science fair, and everything that we showcase is about sciences. But now we decided to change it this year and introduce humanities, because we all know for national or economic development, we cannot only rely on sciences. The humanities, geography, history, CRE, also have a role to play in the transformation of our country. So this year round, we decided to introduce those subjects. And as you have gone round, I'm sure you have seen what they had to show. And a lot of what they had to show was to show us how far we have come and where we are going as far as transformation of this country is concerned. Yes.
Okay, so can you at least, people be there seeing science fair or this what you did today? Can you at least break down for everyone there to know what really has taken place here?
Okay.
Yeah.
So, like we all know, we have a wide range of subjects.
Okay.
So today we have had showcase from the geography department.
Okay.
They had something to show us. We have had from the history department. We've had from the CRE department. We've had from the languages department. And whatever they have shown there is a pure translation of what happens in class. They have tried to explain it in a practical manner. And then when you move to the science side, we have had showcase from the biology department, the chemistry department, physics department, and I hope you have gone up to the home economics department. There has been a lot of food there. Yeah, so that is what the whole science fair, the academic fair, had to cover. But not only that, you must have noted that there have been some students who have been selling juice. That was a project by S3B. It was a combination of the home economics department, or we could say foods and nutrition department, combined with entrepreneurship. The preparation, foods and nutrition, the selling, entrepreneurship. So basically that's what we've had today.
Okay, so we noticed that with all this, of course, things have to have a reason as to why they are supposed to be done. How has this helped in the national system or the community around you or these students all round?
Now you see, under the new curriculum especially, there is a lot that it tries to teach. There are issues of creativity, issues of confidence, issues of working as a team. Now this has been displayed in the whole fair. If you notice that when you go to a group, they have a lot to say. This one says this, the other one says this. They're all working as a what? As a team. So this has been something for the community to learn. For example, we have our neighboring schools that have visited us. We have our sister schools that are here, or we call them brother schools, I don't know, because they are boys' schools. they have come, and I'm sure they are learning. It is something to showcase our parents so that they can see that the children have been able to translate what they have learned in class into something practical, and that the children are aware of what is happening in our environment, the problems that need to be solved, and generally it shows that they are aware of what is happening in our environment and our country at large. Yes.
So being a girls' school, how do you think this affair has impacted to these girls in this beautiful school?
Well, as a girl, one of the things that a girl must be able to do is to be confident, be able to communicate. And then just our being on the media is enough to sell us as a girls' school. That is basically what I can say. Yes, but with a girl, for a girl, we have to be confident while communicating. And I think that is what you have seen. Yes.
Well, that was some inspiring information from the deputy head teacher, and I'm going to be joined by the headmistress of the school to tell us more about the fair. Hello, sister. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
It must be a very beautiful day for you.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
And I want to welcome you to Mount St. Mary's College, Namagunga.
Yeah.
I'm happy you came.
Okay. So kindly tell us your name and what you really do here in this school.
I am Reverend Sister Regina Navawanuka, head teacher, Mount St. Mary's College, Namagunga.
Okay. So this school has been known to be the one of the prominent schools in Uganda. Does it still stand on its principles, the way it was founded, or...
Yes, it has been known, it is known, and it will always be known. It still stands by the principles, and it will stand by the principles, and we thank God for that.
So what was the major purpose for this fair?
Well, this fair, some people are calling it science fair, but it is science and humanities.
Okay.
As you will notice, we have history, CRE, and other art subjects that have exhibited, but it is all about encouraging the girls to be innovative in all fields, not only in sciences. We emphasize the sciences, but it's a fact that there are others who are doing arts, and of course the sciences cannot do without arts. They move hand in hand. So it is a way of encouraging the girls to go the science way, but we must admit that there are some people who are more interested in the humanities. For example, some of the girls perform very well at O level, but they prefer to do arts and they want to go to do law. So that's why we are in the different fields you have seen. Those of history, the ones of CRE, geography, have all exhibited and they are doing very well. So I believe we have achieved what we wanted for the day.
So girls are noticed to be doing sciences so much in this school, and it is actually recognized that so many girls, this is a girls' school. I mean, so tell me about it. How do girls take in sciences around here?
Well, the girls are very proud to do the sciences and they are doing very well. The reason being, they are well facilitated. We have very good laboratories, we have the equipment, the parents are very cooperative, and above all, the teachers put in a lot to ensure that the girls do well in the sciences. But mark this, that not only the sciences, the teachers work very hard in all fields, as you'll notice with the sports and the other activities. But they are very, very good in the sciences because, one, they like what they do, they are facilitated, and the parents are very much appreciative of what the school is doing.
Okay.
Thank you.
All is well that ends well. I hope you enjoyed this week's edition of Education Forum here at Mount St. Mary's College, Namagunga. Hope to see you next time. I remain Nachiranda Jemeo. Bye-bye.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Fred!
Osmosis.
Freddy! Fred Dollar, my boss, CEO Inojo, the general of generals, the conqueror of conquerors, the first and the final, the sky above the skies, the promised land, the terms and the conditions, the international king crocodile, the source of the
Osmosis.
Nile.
I don't have money today.
Just take a polite loan of 200k to stock on my shop. The signs and symptoms of success. The bank commander, not the bank teller.
Why hassle for a loan when you've got MTN Momo? We're sorting. Use the Momo app or dial *165*5# for all quick loans. Choose from the different loan options from our partners and get one that works for you. Together, we're unstoppable.
This weekend on UBC.
Our major task, and as instructed and directed by His Excellency the President of the Republic of Uganda and Commander-in-Chief of UPDF, was to ensure that the land is secured from encroachers. People will no longer be standing, and these seats are of the back, so somebody will really sit comfortably.